And Qatar Kacha actually getting led through into the second section of the first phase here, which is quite smart from Team Egypt. They already know Indonesia has a roamer, so they don't need to prioritize it until now. Now we gotta talk a little bit more about Selena. This is not your typical meta mid laner, but it is the type of hero that is only picked up by teams and players that are particularly confident with it, because it is incredibly skill based and doesn't offer a lot to the team if you're not able to land those abyssal arrows. The fact that Indonesia has decided to pull it out at this point is a very scary declaration.
And the fact that we know they have a perfect aim. Most of the time, they will be able to land that abyssal arrow, and it can give a lot of opportunity for the setup of Indonesia. Is looking forward. Now, the second phase of the banning, we do see that Yi Sun-shin been taken out from the portion. Alot as well as Ruby has already been shut down.
Something that Team Egypt can try to take advantage of right now is because they are facing a mid lane Selena. That means that the team fighting capabilities of Indonesia are going to be a little bit weaker directly. They can commit to a full death ball here, and that is probably why they've decided to get rid of Arlet and Ruby. These are two heavy crowd control heroes that can really mess you up if you stand too closely together. That means that they can feel more comfortable rotating around the map and defending anyone from any abyssal arrow hits.
And the fact that they also take out Fanny, a lot of the targets right now coming in from Indonesia is to just reduce a little bit of the pools for the jungler itself. So Egypt-wise, I do feel like there's still a lot of viable options coming in for their own jungler. So this is where the fine line, they have to pick it up right away.
Whether or not they want to go tank. Both Fredrin and Boxer are still open. If they want Assassin, there's not a lot left in the pool. You either go Joy or you pick up the Suyo that a lot of teams have been falling back on. But they can also choose to leave the jungler for later, just to see everything that Indonesia is going to throw at them and lock in gold lane in advance. Looks like nope, they'll go for the former. It's gonna be the Baxia.
And the fact that we are seeing now Indonesia going in for the gold lane side, somehow I feel like they might actually go for the honest, straightforward fights. You can still be able to pick out Harith at this point if you want to actually go out with a little bit of burst damage on their end.
Yeah, I think Harith is the safest gold lane pick left for Team Egypt, but that also gives opportunities for Indonesia to set up counters to it. I don't really like things like the Phobias as of this point, so they will probably want to look in a different direction, but they will grab the Granger in advance, directly challenging Team Egypt to a marksman battle in the gold lane. EXP lane gonna be the final choice. There's still heroes like Yuzong, like Glue. What is going to be the choice? And it sounds like an X-Borg for Indonesia.
I mean, looking on the side of Indonesia, right, they pretty much really reprioritize on all the damage that they can pull out for the stun. Getting Vivian going to set up for the Tectonic Charge, and then they pull all stuns with the last Insanity. Here's the thing, when it comes to damage-wise, Indonesia is heavily burdened with all of that. And on the side right now, they are also focusing on all the aims that is required from Cine itself with that Abyssal Arrow. So this is something that is very crucial on the side of Indonesia. But Egypt, will they actually take up that challenge with the counter of Granger? Simple as it is, Irrital is still open to be taken.
Yeah, there's a lot of good goal lane options for Egypt right now. They can go Harith that you pointed out earlier. They can grab the Granger counter of Irrital. We've seen Moskov so far. I think Claude is still a fairly safe pick. It's up to them. It is going to be the Moskov. So we might see a little bit of macro play here. And this is a hero that enables you to dash out of Abyssal Arrows if you time it correctly.
Yeah, and the fact that right now, mobility-wise, can be seen on the side of Egypt. They will be able to actually slip away from the hands of Indonesia as they move in for the setup, and this is what required. If they actually have that escape mechanism, maybe they can actually counterattack all the setup has already been done. The question is, will Indonesia be allowing that to happen? This is crucial state. Draft-wise, I do kind of feel like Team Indonesia, if they actually go back into their own draft-wise and the power spike comes in, it is going to be intense indeed for Egypt to just counter it off. But here on out, this is it. This is the crucial state of our first round upper bracket finals.
It does certainly seem that both teams are bringing their A game, going back to the classics, but this Selena adds a degree of skill that Indonesia can once again demonstrate to the world. The defending champions up against a worthy challenger. We're gonna be jumping into the Land of Dawn for game number 1.
Welcome to WEC, everybody. Let's see who will get the grand final slot, the first ever. Give it up to the team of Indonesia versus Egypt.
Two worthy rivals right here. Both teams that have had the opportunity to taste the top 3 finish during WEC 2024. So both certainly deserving of their position here in the upper bracket finals. Already a big trade.
A lot of big trades coming in already with the Thorn trying to hold out positioning. Team Egypt, a little bit of invasive right now comes through, but then again, they are trying to make sure that they can pressure out to the side of Indonesia. But then again, City takes down Nucci just for the first blood. Overextension ended up in the cause of what?
Really impressive composure coming in here from Indonesia. I respect the attempt from Team Egypt to go for the invade. They are playing the tank jungle and they have better mid lane prio after all. But Vival was actually still able to secure the jungle camp regardless, which meant that Nuki basically gave up her life for nothing there.
Yeah, and the fact that right now, this is going to be a little bit tricky coming out from Team Egypt itself. Pressures from every single angle that Indonesia is putting up is saying that you gotta back off, don't get too intense or even close to me. We will make sure that there's going to be a good guard out right here.
Yeah, I like the rotations that we're seeing from Team Indonesia. They know that Cine clears wave slower than Nucci, so they're actually letting Vivian hold the wave in, giving up on the Crocs rotation in order for Cine to provide a little bit more pressure with those Abyssal arrows by herself. We'll see whether or not that works out, but for now, Indonesia is already holding on to a comfortable little gold lead.
Lotus Spawn, right here, this is going to be the first dance can be seen. Looks like Vivian is already prepared to set things up. A little bit of poking right here as Team Egypt, they want to actually figure out where the fine line that they can actually pull through. Thorn comes in from Fiven, but at the same time, they're not going to overcommit themselves. Fumieko joining the party, doing a little bit of ignition right there to the side of Velvet. Yep, they want to open the door though, but it's a rapid puts up right there for that movement to be denied by Fiven. So still, the team of Egypt trying to make sure if they can actually have the upper hand for their own positioning.
Now we can see that Vivian doing a good job right now of just holding aggro on the turtle and slowing down the attempt because she knows that Vival wants to get a bit more farm.
But then going in for a fight, Vivian comes through. Unfortunately, will be able to survive that. Flickers away, unfortunately, to actually survive it all. But SOD doesn't land off. But in the meantime, they are going in for the push. Shadow kill doesn't get anyone. Vival had to pull away with the quad shadow.
Good play there. Team Egypt knows that right now, this early into the game, they just have a better death ball strategy entirely. They can walk together, stay together, dive together. Nana picks up the turtle.
The fact that Nana able to actually get the turtle, it seems that they're going to actually taunt even more. Cine had to pull away, but Vivian gets a kill right there in the hands of Evolve.
Vivian gonna be picked off, so good aggression so far. Team Egypt understanding and knowing how to make use of their early game spike, since they are going to be the ones playing with that tank jungle. It's unfortunate that Names got hit by an arrow, but it should be fine. It's unfortunate that Names hasn't been able to get a lot of assists so far since that Spear of Destruction dismissed earlier. It looks like gold lane is still pretty 50-50.
And the fact that right now we are seeing that Team Egypt getting better and better. Shadow kill comes to Names. Unfortunately, they managed to survive it out, but Cine takes down Nucci immediately for the trade itself. So Egypt set up a little bit too slow right here.
Cine taking advantage of the chaos caused by the Yogi Shadow kill there to actually land the arrow onto Nucci. That's not ideal for the Lunox.
And even Fiven right now trying to survive under it as OD comes in and is going all out to the Shell side, but at the same time, Shell managed to pull through. Ultra Rapid comes in, but the Tectonic Charge doesn't get through with the Mighty Swing as well, so it's going to be a little bit of neutralization between the two.
They didn't quite get the kill there, but you can see that the combo from Team Indonesia is pretty scary there. Oh no, that landed. Okay. Names just barely alive. Luckily, no one else from Team Indonesia was close enough to follow up on that arrow, but we can already see this Selena being quite the little terror on the map. Vival even stealing away the purple buff from Nana.
And the fact that a lot of invasive right here coming out from Indonesia is giving a lot of opportunity for them to just conquer even more. And here, Names should have just gone back, but here giving opportunity for Cine even more to shut her down.
Ah, that's rough. I don't even blame Names too much for staying, because by now you would have thought that the Selena would have went to somewhere else on the map, but Cine just waited the entire time.
And even the Tectonic Charge didn't come through, but at least it does give an opportunity for Cine to just go back, and really good defense coming from the Mother of Tank.
Well, there is a reason why she has been given this moniker, though it looks like she will at the very least be punished for it. Nucci will pick up a kill onto the Grok.
The fact that right now, Team Indonesia great trades come through, and Team Egypt, yes, still have the eye for their objective though. But in the meantime, Indonesia, they have their own answer for it as well. A little bit disciplines come through, but at the same time, right now, they're still having a little bit of skirmish. Fumieko doing a little bit of ignition, doesn't manage to pull through. Still have the Furugamo, but it's going to be an overextension. Had to pull away with the flicker, but here on out, we got Names all by herself. Might having a problem. Stun it up, Viva, but can she survive it? AOG comes in, does manage to take down Shell, and this is going to be a good fight for Egypt to get one player from the Indonesia.
That was just straight up well played from Team Egypt. There's no other way of describing it. A beautiful dodge, but now the arrow connects and Nucci goes down.
Nucci goes down with a mighty swing as well. Now pushing on to Names as well as Nana right here. As Vivid will be immediately shut down by Shell as well as Nana. Had to pull away, rolled to be surviving out, and this is going to be a free title in the hands of Indonesia.
Objectively speaking, I think we can all agree that this is turning out to be a match worthy of the upper bracket finals. Both sides throwing everything at their opponents and staying composed even when put behind. That initial play where Names was able to avoid being picked off by the Hayabusa and then setting up beautifully into the AOG, but unfortunately they didn't have much HP left after that one, and then Indonesia were able to take advantage of it to secure the objective anyway. Now Names in trouble.
Names in trouble indeed, trying to actually set it out, but Shadow Kill comes in right here as Names barely surviving it out, but at least there's still time for it to back off a while.
Alright, that's good. Had to use the flicker though. We can see that Indonesia is starting to ramp up on the aggression. We're at the 7-minute mark now. Goal lead is 3K in favor of Indonesia's side, and they're still continuing to invade.
Going to invade. Midas Wing comes through, but at the same time, Fumieko going back away with the Furugamo was still surviving, though they want to actually push in, but somehow Team Egypt, they also have a little bit of safety net around their side as well.
Team Egypt needs to slow this down just a little bit, but I will say their reactive gameplay so far has been very clean. They've actually been able to play defensively and try and reduce the overall damage that Indonesia is applying with their pressure across the map. They know they need to make space for Names, who is currently getting farm on the other side of the map.
And the fact that right now we are seeing that Team Indonesia, as much as they be able to actually do a lot of the rotation-wise, it kind of give an opportunity for Egypt to just at least do a little bit of split push. So they get the turret for themselves, but at the same time, they still need a lot more of work so that they can actually catch up with Indonesia.
Looking at the farm right now, Vival definitely a lot more fed than Nana currently, and even Shell racking up quite a lot of gold currently. The Granger actually 1.5k gold ahead of Names because this Moskov has been trying to participate in all of the team fights. This means that Shell is going to become a problem sooner than later. And even Fumieko as well on this X-Borg, although hasn't been able to participate as much, has been free farming for most of the game.
The fact that right now, Team Egypt, the more time they are giving to the side of Indonesia, the more that Indonesia can stack things up, getting even more sustained, even more tougher for them to shut down. So the question is, as the lot then started out for the first one, can they actually manage to steal it away from the hands of Team Indonesia?
You can see now Team Indonesia still maintaining vision and control over the Lord. Team Egypt hasn't yet had vision over where Vival is, and they're trying to keep that information secure. Nana also waiting behind the brush. Names unfortunately not able to get a lot of split pushing happening on the other side of the map since Cine was already sent to handle her. But that does also mean Team Egypt knows Indonesia doesn't have their full lineup here right now. Both sides taking this very disciplined. This is a very long Lord dance currently.
Really, really long indeed, especially the fact that we know that Names having a capability with the SOD can actually come in and just join with the team fight itself. But again, this thing comes through. AOG does get one though, but at the same time, at what cost at the moment with Last Insanity burst down, Shell takes down Pamphlet with a double kill Vivid, but SOD comes through, landed on, but it is not going to be enough with the Maniac in the hands of Shell, and now it's going to be a lot. Indonesia takes the win.
That was a recipe for disaster for Team Egypt, but it was a beautiful masterpiece by Team Indonesia. They grouped up the entirety of Team Egypt. The arrow connected with Names, and now Cine is gonna dive her down. Names trying to survive, but I don't think you're gonna be able to buy enough time. Oh, that's actually ready to reverse it. Names with the shutdown. But the team has already been defeated. The mid tower taken down thanks to that incredible combo coming out of Team Indonesia.
Names is doing what she can do as best as she could, even though it was a reversal. But here on out, Last Insanity comes in. But at the same time, right here, they're trying to actually find a way to go in. Last Insanity pushing in, doesn't actually burst down anyone, but it's enough for them to just give a little bit of damage here for the mid lane.
And this is, of course, only the first Lord of the game, so with the holy defenses, not too difficult for Team Egypt to take down. But giving away a Maniac to Shell in that previous exchange is just about the worst thing that could have happened to Team Egypt. That is a lot of Skypiercer stacks. The Granger now 5-0. Unless Team Egypt is able to find some kind of shutdown on this target now, this is going to be difficult.
It is going to be difficult until the AOG comes through, but doesn't actually take out anyone. And now they had to pull away. Brilliance was open up just for them to survive it all out. Now they're trying to actually hold out that holy defense, but it will be cracked out by Indonesia. And the more of the territory will be invaded by them, the Egypt will be even back down to their own base. Oh, Bizarro landed on to Velvet, but not gonna be any follow-up from the rest of the teams though.
Vivin literally exploded in that last exchange. That's how many Skypiercer stacks Shell has by now. Probably 6 stacks in total. We're gonna see Egypt try and defend.
Defend coming in right now as they go for the Torn, but at the same time, Lina going in for the last Insanity does stun Nana. Nana will be taken out by Shell, immediately giving up only 4 players to be surviving and defending that line. But at the same time, still waiting for the minion to come through. And Team Egypt, they're trying to find a way, stuns it out straight for Vivin. Vivin had to pull away immediately before being taken out, but at the same time right here, can never survive it. Stun out immediately with City, shuts down Nochi, Shell takes down Velvet as well, and Shadow Kill comes in. It doesn't land anyone yet, but it does give an opportunity for opening the baseline.
We are seeing the relentlessness of Team Indonesia right now with their aggression toned up to maximum volume. At the very least, there's no minions here. So Team Egypt will be able to hold on for a little bit longer, but this Granger has now officially reached the monster territory, 8-0. Shell needs to be stopped, and if they're not able to do so, she will carry this game on her shoulders.
Not even one able to actually caught Shell, and this is where the fine line that Team Egypt, they are on thin ice trying to actually defend their own base. If Indonesia can actually do a great setup again, this could be a really sad situation for Egypt.
Next Lord has now officially spawned. We're 12.5 minutes in and the gold lead is already 9,000 in favor of Indonesia. No deaths so far on the X-Borg or the Granger. Damage no longer adding up sufficiently for Team Egypt since both Nucci and Names have been hard targeted for the majority of the game. They have no way of walking up onto the map to contest this, nowhere even close. And they only have 1 inhibitor left standing.
And let's see if Team Egypt, with them trying to actually hold out that crystal before being taken out by Team Indonesia, can they actually form the greatest defense, a miracle that can they pull out from their head so that they can maintain the positioning. Now coming in for the Nixian, try to burn the turret down. They are opening up the base. Every inhibitor turret is already out, and this is only left for Team Egypt to fight for their life.
10k gold lead, 13.5 minutes in, the base is empty, the Lord is pushing through.
Goes in for the Tectonic Charge, gets 2 players right here, but at the same time, Fumieko was stunned, goes out for the last Insanity, gonna burst Velvet as well as Nana, but at the same time, goes on for the Shadow Kill. This is a count with the Nucci side, but at the same time, got 4 players who tried to survive it up, but the crystal is going to be in the hands of Indonesia first.
Team Indonesia strides into the base of their enemy with the stride of taking a picnic. It is so simple for them